So we do that too. That's usually more of a fun, but we do old school that had like curtain in between. You got to answer my questions type of deal.
Hi guys, excuse me. I have one slow roll.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then two jerk wings. You. And who has the other one? There you are.
Perfect versus just moving excellence. Be the best you. You're going to inevitably find somebody who's going to pull you up with you. But if you are in your head about it or feel like it should be better, I envision it to be better. There's always going to be a great vision, but until you get in there and actually see what is messed up, you'll never actually be able to tell what it is. So I think a lot of times people need that.
You can really take advantage of those type of things, right? So yeah, man. Yeah, I did get y'all something too.
You did? Oh, you know I like this kid.
We'll be the good brother.
No, the good brother. We love the brother.
Let me get away. No, you don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sleeping, yeah. But no, so this is, can you tell us about, I don't want to overskill, like, can you tell us about what goes on in here? The great things that you do up here, man? Yeah, to alumni, come on in. No, he said, look, I got a report. Let me get out of here. Oh, look, see? Look.
I was going to call. I know, we got to talk. We'll talk. My bad. Dang it.
What's popping in here, man? Tell them what's popping in here, man.
We are here with the Refresh Collective, nonprofit. So basically, students come in here and make positive music. They just shot a music video today, actually. So yeah, they come in here, they pick their topics, then they pick the beat, and after they pick the beat, they make a song together, then they record a video, and then they perform at the end.
I was about to say, where's some of the places y'all performed at recently?
Rock Hall, Eclipse Festival, and I think that's like the one so far after that we had Science Center.
Cavs halftime. I was at the Cavs game. I seen y'all at the halftime. Yeah, they did halftime. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's dope, man. And so, what if is that the only thing that happens in here? Like, what else happens in here?
Well, we actually did the T-shirt. We was designing T-shirts as well. We made the shirt. It was the singers, and we gave them, we gave them a paper. We let them, give it to people who want to go out here.
How you doing?
It's a pull-up experience, man. We got somebody
How you
coming
doing?
talk to some kids, man, and brother David Shands too.
Coming in more in the session.
Yeah, they definitely coming in more session. Yeah, absolutely. They'll see that and then probably talk to the, the young men, or some of the young men we selected too, especially the seniors as they're going off into, life. That narrative is collegiate and just looks like we want to, we're definitely getting away with it. We're definitely getting away with it.
He owns way more than I do. I want everybody one time. You got to sit like freshmen, and then it's like sophomores, and then juniors, obviously, like, getting real, yeah? Yeah, they do. It's black. Let's go. There we go.
Couple things that I want to reiterate for and again with the seniors. I think you got about 5 days before you're out of here. It's a scary time right now. Whatever the case, we got your back. And that's a loaded statement because
day trading. I said, no, we're going to listen to He going to help me flip my money.
I know that's right. You running it, right? You running it, probably.
It's on 68.
And y'all been a dance bar. Y'all
Yeah. We're trying.
I'm proud of you. Yes. That's all right. Now you got
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Good morning. All right, so give yourselves a round of applause for showing up. All right, so I am J.R. Fogle, and today we're 40 because we have a special guest in town. And you guys have the privilege of being in what I call a room. 2 years ago, I put myself in a room and I gambled on myself. I had to invest in myself, and it was one of the best investments I ever made. That led to today. So 2 years ago, I actually went to go see this man speak, and now I have the privilege of hosting him in our city. I had to take a plane, get a hotel, buy a ticket to the event, attend to get to this moment right here. And you guys get to experience that for free. So I hope you guys take that into consideration, listen to what this man has to bring to you, and understand that being in certain rooms as you guys grow up will get you to different levels. Make sure that you're paying attention. You may not be able to take 100% of what he's saying and implement it, but you might be able to take that 10% and multiply it, right? That's what counts, all right? Let's go. Clap it up for yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Marquita. What's up? Now, I know the great man again, and I am so happy to be able to experience y'all in person. I've heard so many great things about y'all, but more importantly, I've heard how serious y'all are about y'all investing in yourselves, right? So, what I do, I am a podcaster, I also do events with my bro Brandon. Raise your hand, Brandon, say what's up. This is the pull-up experience. So one of our experiences, pulling up on people and showing them off, right? Our greatest gift is the fact that we know who to know. And we also know who to know, like N-O, like, no, stay away from it. This one is K-N-O-W. His name is David Shands. He is from, right now, Atlanta. He originally was born in Jersey. What he does is a social proof podcast. He also has his own personal brand, Sleep is for Suckers. He is great when it comes to figuring out what you need and helping you get to a better place. So if you know, like I know, not telling you to take notes, put your phone out or whatever, use, and welcome Mr. David Shands to the city, y'all. Put on for our city.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. Well, yes, I'm David Shands. I'm an entrepreneur, content creator. I had no idea that people were paying me to be myself. So I sit down and I interview people, or I turn on the camera, and I'm not like a dancing bear. I don't do nothing. I literally sit down, be myself, and people pay for that. When I was your age, though, I had no idea what that was like to be myself. I don't know if anybody can relate. I've seen other people who are seemingly more successful, whether they got more girls, or they score more points, or they got better grades. I always wanted to be like other people. And I had no idea that if I just be myself, I become a one-on-one. So I didn't do well in high school, didn't really do well in college, only because I didn't know I was there. I want to say something, and hopefully, all right, I'm saying the average person lives in poverty. I'm going to talk about money for a second. Is that cool? Yeah. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, cool. Typically, we don't talk about money. We stay away from it, especially in my house, because we didn't have any. We didn't talk about it. Because what are we going to talk about? Something we don't have. It just didn't work out. So today I'm going to kind of talk to you about economics and why it works. But the average person is going to make less than $30,000, $27,000. That's below poverty. Anybody here want to live in poverty? You're sure? Okay. So the average person is going to live below poverty. And about 5%, small percentage, meaning out of 100 people, 5% of people are going to make over like $100,000. Cool? Here's the statement. Most of you will probably live in poverty. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. This is going to be motivation. Most of you. But I have to talk to all of you because I don't know who the 5% is. So I got to give the same message to everybody. And then a small percentage of you are going to take this information that I say, because I'm going to teach you how to make some money. Say money.
Money.
Some of you are going to take this information and do something with it. But most, by the time you get out of here, you'll have forgotten what I said, and then you'll get together with some friends who don't have any. Or we'll go off to college, and though it's an amazing experience, there's incredible distractions in college or in the real world. There's a lot of distractions. You guys are protected right now because you have somewhere you go, and you're expected to be here. You eat lunch, you get home, you're not expected to do much more than get good grades and not get in trouble. That's the expectation. But by the time we leave here, this little kid stuff, I can just play around and it's gonna be okay, it's dangerous. And I'm saying most of us, when we leave this room, there are distractions waiting outside, whether it's a female, whether it's you're seeing some people do some things that you know aren't right, but we're going to do them anyway because it looks cool. Call those people idiots or followers. I've been there. I just didn't know what it was like to be myself. So I saw people doing freshmen, black time, seniors, right? Okay, gotcha. Okay, so no seniors. Oh, so y'all got another year of high school. Two subjects I really want you to pay attention to. If you want to make some money, you want to be successful, there's two subjects you really have to pay attention to. I'm not saying walk in class just to get a good grade. I'm saying I want you to pay attention to it. What do y'all think those two are? What do you think? Math? English? Science. English? Science? Why science? Science. Shortcut life. Math and English. I need you to take it seriously, not just for a grade though. Let's talk about math for a second. A lot of people don't understand math, and I'm going to talk about some numbers today, and some of you will check out. When I start talking about the numbers, you're going to check out. But I'm telling you, if you don't understand math, you'll get taken advantage of your entire life. You have to know the numbers. Y'all got notes to take? Y'all can take notes in your phone or paper.
Yeah, well, they're not supposed to have phones, but they
This is going to be important. Math is very, very important to understand. I was at the store the other day, and I think what I was buying was $14.66. I give the lady a $50, and she gives me back the wrong change. She shorted me like $20. But I'm always focused on math. I want to make sure the numbers are right. Most people I know, they take the money and put it in their pocket. How many do that? You buy something, they give you a change, you take the money, you trust that it's right, you put it in your pocket. Most of us, like if we're thinking about it consciously. Now it's going to be different. You count it because you don't want to get taken advantage of. Let me show you what happens. So I was working at the Cheesecake Factory, and I was a server. I make it $2.13 an hour, but with tips, it balances out. We get to make some good money. Anybody got a job here? What you make? What you make? Like 12 or 12? 12 an hour? How many hours a day? 8 hours a day? For how many days? 3 days. How many hours a week is that? 24. 24? You know how much your check is supposed to be every week? Okay. Who else got a job? How much you make? 15.33 hours. How many hours a day? I work 12 hours a week. How much you make? 15 hours. 15 hours, 15 an hour, 12 an hour. Why do they make more money than you, bro? Serious? Why do you say that? Why do you think experience allows them to make more money than you? I think somebody does more than the other. Say again? Area code? So it's either experience, area code. Why do they make more than them? Anybody know? They got different jobs. Different jobs? Anybody else have a job? Anything. 12, 15, 12, 15, 13. Okay. Let me tell you something. I'm driving to work. And I get to the stop sign. Later, like, we got this exit, and there's a stop sign. And there's a homeless person at the stop sign, at the stoplight. And he has a sign, and it says, spare change, it's just like, do you have money? Essentially. So he walks up to my car, and he shows the sign. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling generous. So I roll down my window, and in my glove box, I got a 20 and 2 ones. What y'all think I did? 2 ones. But they're together, so I'm like trying to tuck the 20 and then just grab the 2, and I give it to him. Right? Okay, thank you. I drive off. I feel good because I just gave it to somebody left work. The next day I'm going to work. I get off the exit, come to the stoplight again, and the same guy is there. This must be a hot corner. He's there 2 days in a row. This is fun. So he has the same sign, walks up, and at this point, something comes over. I don't make that much money at work, but that $20 is still there. I take the 20, and I said, you know what? You can use it more than I can. I'm on my way to work at the Cheesecake Factory as a server. I know I'm gonna make some money tonight. You're down on your luck. I got you. I give you the $20. And I got it. This bothered me for like 2 weeks. This whole process just bothered me for 2 weeks. Like, we're going through my head. I gave him $2 and then $20, and he's there 2 days in a row, and I just can't shake why I'm feeling the way I feel, because something's up with this man. So a question, probably, I'm a podcaster, I ask questions, I ask myself questions all the time. My question is, I wonder how many times this light turns red in and out. Can anyone think about that during the story? He's there 2 days, and then I start seeing a regular leader. I'm like, yo, he's killing it on this corner. This is why he's holding it down. He wouldn't be here every day if he wasn't making money, right? The question is, how many times does this light turn red in and out? So I'm Googling it, write this number down. It typically stays red, it turns red about 60 times, but it stays red for 60 seconds an hour. And how many minutes do we have in an hour? 60. Meaning this light's gonna turn red 60 times. Y'all following the story so far? Anybody check out on me yet? Okay. If this light turns 60, if it turns red 60 times, let's just say that he's going to a bunch of cars, and you would think that it's a failure if he goes to my car, car behind me, car behind them, car behind them, then the light turns green and they all leave. But out of this, he only gets $1. That's a failed attempt, do you agree?
No, not even
But now he does it 60 times. I'm saying if he's on the corner, and every time the light turns red, he only gets $1, how much does he make it out?
$60.
You make how much? How much you make? How much you make? Better career, be homeless. I'm talking math now. This bothered me. I gave him $2. Imagine if he gets $2. Okay, let's just imagine that when the light turns red, he's asking you for his money, and nobody gives him money that time, but the next time he gets $2. It's still $60 an hour. Or let's say half of the time he actually gets $1, $30 an hour. I gave him 21 times. That wouldn't bother you? That don't bother you? A homeless person has the potential to make 60 plus an hour, and you make 12? Question for you now. Why does this homeless man make this type of money, and you make 12 an hour, or you make 15 an hour? Why does that homeless person make more than pretty much everybody here sitting in front of you? Why? Say again? Being consistent? Okay. He's taking advantage of poverty. Anybody else? Why?
That's his job.
That's his job. So think about this. Think about this. Think about this. Let's say you're not homeless with a sign, but you have. Does anybody have a product or serve? Does anybody sell anything? Anybody sell anything legal? Anybody have a product? I'm telling you right now, if somebody here has a product, I will buy it right now. Okay, I'm just letting you know. You have a product?
Tay, you got something.
It ain't done. What is it? Is it clothing ring? What is it? You got a clothing ring? You got a clothing ring too? Where's the product? So you have a product at home that you sell. Do they have products that they sell?
Yeah.
Y'all bought them? No? Y'all see them though?
Yeah.
Do you have some at your house?
I see him. I watch him.
You have a shirt?
They
Okay.
did my first last year.
I'm sorry. 45. How much is a t-shirt? You have t-shirts or hoodies at your house? You got both?
I made it.
Yeah. Oh, so you make it to order? Okay. Say it again? Long suits? 120? Okay. I'll buy them. I don't know how you're gonna give it to me today, but I'll buy them. Okay. Jay, let's figure out a way. I'm gonna buy it. Anybody else have a problem? No? You guys are what, 15, 16? I want you, let's math. Let's math right now, okay? 12 an hour, yes? 12 an hour. Let's say, for instance, you have a product. You're not homeless, you're not begging people for money, but you have a product that you can sell to people. If you work 8 hours, what's that? 8 times 12, what's that? 96? 96? 96. In an 8-hour period, you can make $96. Let's say you just have a product where it's a t-shirt, and you sell the t-shirt, good round numbers, $20. If you had an hour to sell t-shirts for $20, how many do you think you could sell? You went to a mall, you went to a park, there's a festival going on, you're outside the club talking to people. How many do you think you could sell in an hour? Up to 5 to 10. So you mean to tell me if you have a product and you sell 5, let's say, for $20, that's $100. You can make the same amount of money in an hour than you can make in 8 hours at your job. I'm telling you, this homeless person messed me up. Like I couldn't shake it out of my, this ruined a job for me forever. It's not gonna be every day. Trying to be consistent.
Some days you work hard.
Hold on a second. You work an 8-hour shift, it adds up for sure. What was your point?
You're gonna have ups and downs. Like someday you might come across everybody that's like giving out money this day. Next day, people ain't gonna be feeling.
I hear you. Say it again. It's about your determination. Hey, check this out. Listen to me. There's a million excuses why I'd rather have someone give me a job, give me $12 an hour, and you don't get the whole 96, first off, because there's something called taxes. Take it out. And do you know, having a job, the reason they take the taxes out is because they don't trust you to pay taxes at a job. Because someone that's willing to sit and do a job for 8 hours for $96, they just have the employee mindset. They will always be that. The next level is manager. I make $14 an hour. But I'm saying, even if we spend 8 hours every day, like he spends 8 hours at work, not every hour you're going to sell 5. But what if in the whole 8 hours you sell 5? It's about your own work ethic. It's the same amount of money, but you can do it for yourself. The consistent, yes, they will give you a check consistent. But it's not going to be what you're worth. Like, think about it. We just don't want to work, and we don't want to think. We don't want to have to, okay, I got these shirts. I don't want to have to think about, okay, where should I go? Where's it going to be a whole bunch of people at? Right, so a job, they think for you and tell you to do this and that, and you do this and that, you get off work. Think about someone, when you pull up to McDonald's and you look about my age. Why do you think they do that? Why would someone 40 years old work at McDonald's? Say again? The pay is okay. They just don't want to do it. And think about the person that's 40 years old, 50 years old, that works at McDonald's. Do you think they set a circle like this when they were a sophomore, junior, freshman, senior? They were like, yo, you know what? Next 20 years, McDonald's for sure. But I'm not just gonna be dipping fries, I'm gonna be the manager. You think they said that? Of course not. But it's the process of not thinking and letting other people think for you, and you let them control your life, and that's how it ends up. I'm telling you, time flies by fast. You guys are 15 years old, I'm telling you, in the next 10 years, you can be in the same financial situation 10 years from today that you're in right now. It doesn't seem possible, but I'm telling you, it will happen for most of us under the sun of our voice. Because we're going to come up with reasons why I need to just sit there and let somebody pay me $12 an hour when I can just use my brain to figure out where do I take these shirts and ask people. Let me give you the benefit. You all are young. And if all of y'all are 30, I'm doing a workshop tonight, a workshop teacher podcasting tonight. And it's going to be adults there. You know what I'm not going to say? I'm not going to say, hey, anybody selling something, I'll buy it right now. I'm not going to say that. Why am I not going to say that tonight? They grown. They got to be out here being their own. I'm cool. I'm not just supporting you. I got to like it. I told them I'll buy their product, and I haven't even seen it. Now, why would I do that? It doesn't make sense, but because they're young, I'll support. So, Jay, young man comes up to you, I got this t-shirt, $20. Hey, I'm trying to do the right thing. If I wasn't selling these t-shirts, I'd probably be running to your house. I'm not running to your house, I'm trying to do the right thing. Would you like to support this t-shirt? Are you gonna buy it? He hasn't even seen it. You guys have an advantage because you're young. You can take literally anything, some sort of product, and ask you, I don't know if y'all do this, but in Atlanta, there's always water boys for sure. And they're just, they got the right idea, they're just a little too aggressive. I pull up, and my man's like, y'all got the water, OG, give me the water. I'm like, I'm on the phone, bro. He said, bro, look at your watch, man, you got the money. I'm like, I don't gotta give it to you. He was just a little too aggressive. But the clock is running out on you being young, and cute, and wanting support. You got about a good 3-4 years to go make $1 million off your age. It's a layup. It's so easy. It's the same thing that the homeless person is doing, except for you're young, you actually took the time to create something and offer it. In Atlanta, at the Walmarts, there's always some kid with a wrinkled up sheet of paper talking about support my football team. I know that's not, I know right. I know. But what they're doing is implementing a process of thinking. They said, okay, well, I can't just be on the corner homeless, but if I have something in my hand, because I'm young, people will support. Say support. Support. But it's running out. Eventually, you'll be grown, and that doesn't work. Man, I wish I was 15 years old, and I thought the way I thought now. Yes. Hold on, yes, question. You got a question, right? And I'm in. What's up?
Say like you got a clothing brand, right? Say like you run out of product though. It'll take like 2 weeks though.
You want to
next check is in 2 weeks though.
Let's get to the math. Let's get to the math. Math. It's important. You sell a t-shirt for $20. How much does it cost you to make a shirt?
You got 100 slaves.
Like 10. Say it again.
You got like 100 slaves. You don't got no profit.
I feel that.
How you gonna make your money?
Good. Can I go to the back? It costs $10 to print the shirt. Let's say we sell it for 20. How much profit is that? Good. So I'll take the 20, give me $20. I take 10, put it over here, take 10, put it over here. This is how much it costs to make the shirt. This is the profit. Or we can take the $20, the whole 20, and put it over here. So write this down. We gotta go through some numbers. Don't check out on me. Y'all with me yet, right? Y'all still with me, right? Right, $20. Sell a shirt for $20. How many shirts do we need to print up? How many are we gonna start with? Start with 20, 30. Let's just go with 20 for good round numbers. It costs $10 to make it. But we have to print 20 of them. So how much money do we need to print these shirts? 200. No problem, we can get 200. Let me show you how to get the 200. You go to people with a picture of the design and say, hey, I'm pre-selling these shirts, give me the money now, I'll deliver it. You can sell it. We need $200. Well, let's just say we get the 20 shirts. We sell the 20 shirts for how much? $20 a piece, okay. If we sell all of them, we have how much? We got 400. But to print up another 200, to print up another 20 shirts, how much do we need? We need $200. Y'all with me still? Okay. So here's how we do it. We have 20 shirts. We sell 10 of them. We still got 10 left. When we sell the 10 shirts for $20 a piece, we have how much? 200. At that point, when I sold the 10th shirt, I take the money and I start printing 20 more. So I sell the other 10, and by the time I'm finished selling the 10, guess how many shirts I have over here? 20. So every time I sell half, I take that money, put up a whole new batch, and we roll it. That's how we don't run out. You shouldn't run out. But here's what happens. Because, for sure. But the only problem with selling them and then printing them is there's a time between the time we sold the last shirt and then we say, oh, I need to print up some more. And then it takes a week to print up some more. And in that week, people want to buy. I'm saying, once we have enough money to print up some shirts, we start there early. Got it? Math solves all problems. But if we're not like paying attention in math class and we don't start calculating the numbers, people will always take advantage of us. You got a question?
Y'all saying something about the you were saying like kids can do anything they just
Okay.
I was at work at this lady, she walked
Cause you know where after this?
asked lady said they was hungry, the lady was just giving them money and she walked up to me like that bothered me that she did that thing because she don't think they were trying to do the right thing. About that football, about the football.
Sure. Well, I'm saying y'all need to do something the right way. Is there internet on there? Is there internet on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go to a website for me? I want to show you something. I'm telling you, right now, it doesn't even matter what the product is. It doesn't matter. Because we are talking to older people to support. If you come up with a good story, English, our ability to communicate, this is why English is so important. Your ability to communicate will make you wealthy. Your inability to communicate will land you in jail. Let's talk about jail for a second. I think we may know, I don't know if you guys have been educated. Let's go to Wristband. Let's talk about jail for a second. Y'all know and I don't know if you know, but they'll take an area, and based on the kid's reading level in the 3rd grade, that's how many times, that's how they determine how many prisons they're going to need.
Whoa.
Am I right? So they take the 3rd grade reading level, and they say, well, if these are the reading scores in 3rd grade in Cleveland, we're gonna need 2 more prisons. This is something you can Google. I'm not making this up. Because I think they understand that if a child can't read or write, they're not gonna be able to communicate their ideas. We can't communicate how we feel. And if we can't communicate how we feel, we'll act it out. If I don't know how to say, bro, I don't like how you said that to me, or I don't know how, I heard somebody said that you said something about me, but I don't know how to communicate that idea. What do y'all think I'll do? If I don't know how to say it, I'll show you. I'll show you. That's some people in relationships, you guys will soon see. Some people can't communicate their love, and you can't communicate how they feel. So you wind up acting it out. And think about it, I don't know if it happens here, but I was at MLK High School, I was speaking here, and the assistant principal said, there is a fight every day, every single day. And I'm thinking, you're exaggerating. I mean, every day, it's like, yo, we can count it for sure. It's gonna be 1 or 2 fights every single day. So I got that information, I started talking to the students, and I said, I want y'all to really think about the people y'all see in a fight every day. Think about that kid, it's always wanting to fight somebody. They're probably a terrible human. The vocabulary in their, the words they have to choose from to say what they're thinking, very limited. I can't say it, so I'll show you. Your world just becomes so small with a limited vocabulary because there's so many words out here. And you don't know half of them. You don't know most of the words to be able to communicate an idea. So we continue to act it out, and then we find a 10 by 10 space to live in with bars because your world is so small, that's all you really need to live. So if you can't communicate, and I'm telling you, you ever seen somebody walking down the street with a young lady, and the young lady's beautiful, and you look at the guy, and you're like, how do you do that? Communication. And I'm telling you, when y'all get to college or another school, you'll find out that a woman is really, really into the way someone makes them feel with their words. They can say it. The only difference between 12 and 15 in the corporate world is your ability to talk about how valuable you are to the company. You can get a raise. I had a job, and I don't think anybody ever thought to say this, but I studied communication. So I had this job, I was making maybe $14 an hour. How do I get to the next level? Like, how do I get to like assistant manager? Because I heard assistant managers make $18 an hour. I asked, what do I have to do to get there? And he told me what I had to do to get there. So I did all the stuff he told me to do, and I became assistant manager. But nobody thinks like that. They think, oh, I'm gonna make $12, $13, $15 an hour. And until they give me some more money, I'll just make what I make. So I want you to work today. And I want you to say, okay, there's another level. Because my manager seems like they make more but work less, right? Your manager, they make more, work less. How's that possible? Say it again? You know why they make more? Because they know how to communicate. They know how to get a bunch of people to do something. That's valuable to them. But there's some people that just know how to do it. So anyway, how can we make this one? How can communication make us well? As an entrepreneur, you have to learn sales, and sales is nothing but communication, being able to paint a picture. getting people to see something. Remember I was telling Jay, it wasn't, hey, I got this t-shirt, would you like to buy it? I said, hey Jay, I am doing the right thing. I am from a neighborhood where most of my friends are doing it wrong. And I actually got a proposal. I know the guys that selling drugs out there. I know them. And they said if this t-shirt thing don't work out, they got it. So I'm actually trying to do the right thing. And I would appreciate your support. Say no. Would you agree? It's hard to say no. I mean, you could go up, hey, bro, I got this shirt, try. Or like the Water Boys, hey, bro, I got some water, you want some? I can't support that. But if I learn how to communicate, now let's get back to some math, okay? This is one of my starts. I had these wristbands. Called Sleepers for Suckers wristbands. And I would sell them for $2. Now this is probably 10 years ago. I'm gonna give y'all a play. Most of y'all not gonna run this play, but hopefully some of you. How many of you are really gonna be?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
How many of you are going to be running today? You're gonna do some amazing things. I'm telling you, y'all gonna come back to this school, y'all gonna redo the gym, y'all gonna have so much bread, you'll be able to buy your mom house, your brother house, your sister house, y'all gonna have a community, y'all gonna be able to go to the shop, go to the shoe store, and say, let me get that ball. Listen, you'll be able to drive whatever car you want to drive.
Yep.
I am prepared. I am prepared for any one of y'all to come up to me and say, hey, I have a product, would you like to support it? I am prepared. I went out and worked hard. You make millions a year. But I'm ready for you to come up to me and say, yeah, I got this shirt, I got this tie company, I got this candy, I'm ready. So if you see me in the streets, just know I'm ready. I got cash on me. I'm ready. But that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to do. I want to be able to say, all right, how many shirts you got? I got 5 right there. Okay. I'm about to give y'all a play. And I hope y'all ready to play. So this is one of my first things that really worked for me. It's called Wristband.com. So we can go to, where do we go? They sell these wristbands, silicone wristbands. Y'all wear wristbands? Anybody like the little rubber ones? Y'all seen them before, right? How much y'all think those cost? Like 50 cents. 50 cents? So we got a silicone wristbands. We go to these regular ones. Can anybody read that? No. It says as low as 15 cents per wristband. Select and stock. Let's see what they have in stock. All right, so we can pick whatever color you want. We can get 30 green ones. We can get 100 black ones, whatever, right? Now, if we get 5,000, we get them for 15 cents. However, let's see how much it would cost to get 1,000 wristbands. 1,000 wristbands. It says we can get between 1,000 and 3,000 for 19 cents. Somebody do the math. Multiply 1,000 times 0.19. How much does it cost?
Say it loud, say it with your chest. Come on.
19 cents each. How much do we need? 1,000 times 19 cents. Say it again. How much?
We old school like that. They ain't here.
Hold on. Sit up. So I can get 1,000 wristbands for $190? No. 1,000 times 19 cents. So I get 1,000 wristbands for 19 cents? I sold them for $2. I sold them for $2. If we sell 1,000 wristbands for $2 a piece, How much do we make? $2,000. So you're saying I can invest $190 and get $2,000 back? And who don't got $2 to support you? You can put whatever you want on there. You can put Cleveland, success, support, love, unity. Yes. It's not my website. It's a creative website. There's 100.
You too can make a band.
I'm doing
That's
that
why I
today.
said go to the website. Wristband, I don't got nothing to do. I'm just saying, I ran that play while I was working at the Cheesecake Factory. 2.5 years later, I was able to leave my job. If any, I'm telling you, if any of y'all has some wristbands, I just buy 5. And you'll be surprised. There's a lot of people that's not just gonna give you the $2 for one. And if you get really, really smart, and you say, hey, we sell a pack of 5 for $10. It just means you sell 5 at a time versus 1. But if we don't have the 5 together, they'll buy 1. Or you'll experience this. I'm telling, and when you experience it, just hit me up and say, yo, it actually worked. You'll have one wristband, it's $2. There will be people that give you the $10, take the one wristband and say what? Keep the change. Because you're young. That's the math part. But what about the English? If we can communicate the idea of what we put on our wristband and make somebody feel something, we make there's an emotional heartstring. If we put family on it and we go up to people and say, hey, I really believe in family values. I'm seeing that there's a lot of broken homes, and I'm on a mission to bring more fathers back into the household. I'm trying to push this message how important family is. I go out and I'm closer with people who I'm not in, like, that I don't have the same blood with. And I don't think that's right. I'm trying to recreate the family values like they had back in the 1900s. Do you believe it? If you get somebody to believe it, I promise you they will support you. It'll be like clockwork. I'm telling you, you'll make way more money than the people that sell drugs. I know, because a lot of those people come to me and say, hey, Dave, how can I make some money? I've been in the streets for 10, 15 years. I need to figure out what I can do, because I'm not trying to do this no more. I'm gonna open it up for some questions. That's the last point. And I don't know how much time we got. I was talking about. We're over time?
Yeah.
The real value of doing what I'm saying to do, and I don't get no benefit from it, I don't get no commission, this isn't for me, this is for you. The real benefit is if you start this process when you're 15, and you go through the process of learning how to communicate, learning how to count your profit, learning how to tell your friend, like, yo, you want to be in business? Cool. I'm about to hit you with 500 wristbands, just give me $1 back on all of them. All right, bet. I'm gonna give you 500 wristbands, you sell them for 2, just give me $1 on each of them, you get 50%, we good. You go to another school, like that same way. If you learn this process over the next 3-4 years, it's almost inevitable that you'll get it. If you take it seriously. If you take it seriously. Am I right? Who are my adults in the room? Am I making stuff up?
No.
No. And everybody in here has heard all of this before. Raise your hand if we talked about developing y'all products and y'all brands and marketing yesterday. So for those that took advantage of that lesson and he just bought something, listen, everybody in here, take advantage of it. He is not lying.
I'll let you go. Here's the saddest part, and I gotta leave you on this. This is the saddest part. Most of you will walk out of here and forget everything we said today. That's sad. And it's just the numbers. I can't fight against the numbers. I don't make the rules. I'm just informing you of how things work. Most, you're gonna go to your class and talk to some people, and they're gonna tell you that's a dumb idea, or you'll be preoccupied, or we'll say it's a lot easier to just make $13 an hour or $14 an hour. And in the next 10 years, you'll wish that you made the decision. However, it's a couple of y'all, and I can kind of see it in your eyes where you're like, oh, I'm about to get this one night. For sure. So I just need the stories of the people who actually go do something. I need those stories.
And
I will buy wristbands tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
Question. So for those in here that are sitting, like, where do I get the money? Can they do both? Can they work their job and do this? Bet against yourself.
Yeah. I work the job, took the money from my job, and flipped it.
Did y'all hear that? Take your paycheck from Papa John's and Wingstop and where you guys work.
Or so some of you, maybe you don't have a job, and in your head you're like, I don't know where I'm gonna get this money from. Now we gotta be innovative, we gotta think. I remember going to a pizza shop that was owned by a guy around the corner from my house. And I was like, yo, I just gotta get some money from somewhere. I go to the owner and I said, hey, I'm looking for a job, just side job, anything that I can do to work out. I go to the local high school, anything I can do to help out. I'm just trying to make some money. So yeah, I be doing weird stuff. It's like, wash the wall,
Get with like the Q now, because you're recording.
But at the end of this, I'm gonna have a little check.
Oh yeah,
Or I'm gonna cut some grass.
I ain't checking the
Or
acoustics
I'm gonna
either.
take out people's trash. I'm gonna do something. There's
I
money
believe
in this world.
it's time for you. It should be good.
Okay? Y'all good? Okay. All right. So I want to tell you, if nobody told you, that I love you. I really, really do. Nobody paid me to come here. No one's giving me some sort of incentive. But I know that you all are the future. And you all are the ones that are going to have to take care of us later. You guys are going to be running the world. So my request for you is, after you go become successful, I need you to come back to this school, and I want you to sit in the same room, and I want you to set up the table just how it's set here, 10 years from now, and I need you to talk to the babies. I need you to talk to the kids, and tell them what you did, and remind them of this story. Tell them the path, because we all need them. Okay? All right. Thank you, David. Thank you all.
Because I do need to be up early. Okay, also, before we get into it, we do have vendors. So support your local Black-owned businesses. We got candy clams. Before you leave, look to your left and to your right. Introduce yourself to the person that's next to you. You can come with them. Make sure that you extend it. Card, ideas, and your social media page.
I'm saying, you know, like, you talk too much about money like that, he can't say. But I think it's very, very important to start building well. I am an entrepreneur first, podcaster second. So I need everybody to take on this to make money. You're going to be inspired, motivated. I don't care if I'm sitting across from a billionaire. I'm keeping my avatar, my audience in mind. So I'm not going to talk about billionaire stuff with a billionaire. I'm trying to see how much you remember about when you didn't have any money. Hey, I will hand you this for some money. It's easy to deliver. So the service needs to be packaged. I offer 60-minute therapy sessions. I offer therapy cards. I have a community that's X amount of dollars, and this is what you get for your money. You have to package it so it's easy for them to receive. It might be a book. We're not selling information. People sell a book. It has information inside of it, but it's easy for the transaction to take place.
Right.
Make it easy for people to pay you. Got it? You're welcome. So, I'm on Red Circle. My guy Wally. It's his whole job to go talk to advertising agencies and say, hey, we got all these podcasters over here. We got this business podcast. We have this true crime podcast. We have podcasters who have your audience. That's his whole job, to go find brand deals. So Wally calls me and says, hey Dave, I got this brand deal for this company. You want to do it? I say, yes. Tell me what it is. My answer is yes first. I'll just be like, yes. But he calls me because I built an audience. How do we build an audience? We were targeted. We were consistent. I'm studying the craft. I'm studying conversation. So we have to build an audience if we're gonna get sponsorships that way. The reason I'm telling you that you need to start with a business, product, or service is because we can run the bag up before we start building an audience. Before we have hundreds of thousands of people.
Which one we get up and move around?
I'll partner, not you. I'll partner.
Okay, I'll make sure.
But I'm like, oh, this is like a potential strike. So
Okay. I'll probably put it on the bullet list. Whoever's the time is. I'll figure it out. It's like maybe the testimonial. Whoever testimonial was like, who's the hashtag?
Ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, action! The person who wrote the song, the person who's in the background and said, yo. When the music for an ad, that person has to get paid. Everybody has to get paid because music is regulated. 4-minute song with $1 million. Less than 5 minutes. I upload 4 60 to 90-minute podcasts onto the same platform every week. So this is one 4-minute song that we're going to promote for a few months. I'm saying every single week I'm uploading another 4 hours, 5 hours of content. Guess how much Spotify pays me for it? And get this, we've got 18 million downloads, but 18 million downloads of 60 to 90 minutes. I'm not talking about a 4-minute song. Spotify pays me 0. Music used to be like that before it was PMI, ASCAP. Said, no, this is the choice. The artist has to pay, right? So you got to say, I don't know PMI or ASCAP or these platforms, and make sure you get your money. So you can follow that for right now, but don't let it stop you. Don't let, I don't want to post the wrong time. There's no wrong time. People are scrolling all day. What time are you on social media? All day. So people are going to see something all day. My boy, he got the strategy. He posts overnight. He posts 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
The wings are out of control, and they sell Kool-Aid. This is crazy. They're not even trying to hide that it's Kool-Aid. It's on the menu. Kool-Aid. That's special. I don't think some kids, they wanted to just made it Kool-Aid, but they're like, yo, Kool-Aid.